Today we're joined by Andrew Sullivan, Chris Driscoll, and Max Meserve the day after an exciting 5-4 victory over Emmanuel College. Guys, the low-scoring, narrow margin of victory type contests have been common of late. Chris, just kind of talk about, as a goalie on the team, what it's like to play in such low-scoring, tightly contested games.
I mean, it's always exciting. There's never a dull moment in the game. It's always go, constantly.
The game must go by even faster when it's every play matters so much.
Every single one matters, and like it came down to the very last second, and Jack Lafreniere killed the time. And if he hadn't done that, they had 30 seconds to get the ball and tie the game up. So,
Brent, I noticed that after that, they scored that final goal, the fourth goal. Really kind of not necessarily a back and forth, because they scored the first two and then the Monks came up with four, including 3 by Andrew Sullivan here, which we'll get to in a minute. But they came back. They fought back late with a couple of goals there late in the fourth quarter, and then they called a timeout after they scored the fourth goal with 30 seconds left, and Ahmed won the face-off. Was that what you guys talked about? Was that kind of the plan, get the ball to Jack, let him run around?
Yeah, pretty much, just because he's the fastest one and no one can really catch him.
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, Andrew, you really kind of stepped up your game here this year. You know, after losing a lot of scoring last year with Horgan, DeLava, guys like that, just kind of talk about how your season's going so far. You've kind of filled that role as the go-to scorer on this team.
Well, just trying to lessen the beating for those that, I mean, where the games are really high. Against, like Salem State and Lake Plymouth, you know, it's more of just to lessen the score on the board, you know. But in those tight wins, like, I mean, every shot is crucial. Every shot needs to go in. So,
right.
I mean, thank God I got feeders like Hamill and Max, so it helps out a lot.
And Max, you've kind of developed a reputation as that kind of playmaker guy here. You're always passing off and getting good feeds and getting good looks. Is that how you've always been as a player?
It kind of started when I came to St. Joe's, because I was playing behind the net, and it's so, like, I can't really get shot opportunities most of the time, so I get the slide and I usually find the guy that's open.
Now, Chris, fourth-year starter, senior year. You guys took a couple on the chin against some pretty good opponents, but 2-0 in conference play. Talk about how crucial it is to get off to a good start like you have in conference.
I mean, obviously every conference game is huge, every single one, and to start off 2-0 is the best we can ask for right now. So, I mean, it all comes down to the next game, the next game, and the next game, and hopefully we can pull it off. So.
Now, originally, you guys were supposed to travel down to Emmanuel on Tuesday, then it got pushed to Thursday, and then it got turned into a home game, playing at Fitzpatrick, you know, a different place, different stadium, different field. Did that kind of affect your guys' game plan going in, or just like how you guys were going into the game?
We kind of made it better because we didn't have to have a 2-hour trip. It was only half an hour, so kind of that advantage of not being on a bus all day.
Right.
That was pretty much the rest of it. It's kind of like a same field, same kind of thing as everywhere else.
But I think that's a good question, because it's I know how it works on game day. Is the game going to be on? Is it not going to be on? Are we going to play at home? Are we going to play down there? It must have been a relief to know that you're going to play here. It was a disadvantage for them, unfortunately, a game that was supposed to be home. But for you guys, when you got word, what was kind of the reaction?
Relief. We were all pretty happy to have the game home.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd rather play home any day.
Right, absolutely.
Away, obviously. I mean, yeah.
Now, Emmanuel, just a second-year program. Let's talk about them a little bit. They've given you guys a couple good games in both years as a second-year team. Let's talk about what they brought to the table.
They brought up a lot more intensity this year. Last year, I mean, we had the home field advantage. We played over on Westerly Way, and we had big crowds that helped out a lot. But they gave us more of a game this year than I think we bargained for, and came out on top, so worked out.
Yeah, they had a couple, like, you could tell that their stick skills were getting better and more aggressive on defense. But yeah, they just a little bit better than last year.
Now, Chris, it's easy to look at the box score and notice that you didn't log 60 minutes. You 52-36. Penalty in there. Just kind of, without going into too much detail, talk about what happens there. You come off the field, of course, and you have to wait for a stoppage to get back in. What happened?
I mean, we were man down for 2 minutes, and Ethan Moose went into the game, and he held it down for us. He made, I think, 2 or 3 saves while he was in there while we were man down, and he really held it in for, like, while I was out. And then they ended up scoring a goal on him, but to have those 2 saves before that is huge when we're man down.
Right.
And, yeah, that's all I really got.
For you on the sideline, just kind of waiting to get back in the game, that must be must be
I
tough.
mean,
I don't think you've had many penalties in your career where you end up.
No, I think I have like 4.
Yeah.
And I mean, being out of the game is weird because I'm always in the game, every single one, and
Right.
you know, it was what it was, and I got to deal with my consequences when that happens. So
I bet Coach wasn't happy with you.
he didn't mind. He wasn't too mad.
Well, let's go back and talk about the penalty. Actually, what happened on the penalty?
Well, there was a fast break. Guy was coming in from the wing, and Bert Comans was covering the point, and the ball got tipped to a guy that was on the crease wide open. And so I was going after that guy, and I wasn't going to hold up because I thought he was catching the pass. And that's basically what happened.
Now, Max on the attack and Andrew in midfield, were you guys within sight of this, egregious penalty that Driscoll committed? Did you guys see it happen?
Yeah, I mean, as a goalie, it's his call.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, I trust that it was probably the right decision. I mean, if the ball went the other way, it could have been a great play. So,
I see Max smiling though.
Well, it was just bad luck on his, because the ball got tipped. If the ball went through, it would have been
fine.
Open goal if he didn't come out. So he did what he had to do to stop the play.
All right, I can visualize it now.
That's kind of why our coach wasn't upset about it, because he did what he had to do.
Gotcha. So tomorrow we have Southern Maine, a non-conference opponent, but always a big, rival in state school here. Guys, talk about what it's like to play that team. You beat them once in 5 tries, I believe. Usually a fairly athletic club. Talk about what you guys are looking for going into tomorrow.
We just have to come out with intensity. Like a few games this season, we come out pretty flat, and we've been down early. So I think we just have to come out with intensity and match their quickness in it, because they have a lot of quick, good stick skills. So on the defensive side, they're going to have to keep doing what they've been doing the whole season. And on offense, we're just going to have to be more aggressive and go for the goal.
All right, guys. Well, I know you have to get on the bus here for practice, so thanks so much for your time. Congrats on the back-to-back conference wins, and good luck tomorrow against the Huskies.
Thank you.